an AI agent is not going to care about fear of rejection.
Well, there you go. There you go. You lose
losing track of the script. Like, where are they with rebuttals and overcoming objections and all that?
You are correct. So,
hey, welcome back to the Dave Kittle Show. We got my longtime colleague Jerry Durham on the podcast. He's a small voice, jokingly big voice in the patient experience world. And Jerry, you posted something, and you've been on the show before, so
let's just go.
We talked about cancel no shows, charging patients. I don't know. We've talked about the patient experience. We talked about a lot on the show. You posted something recently about AI, or maybe I reached out to you and said something about AI. And I screenshot. What was it? Sona. There was some company with doing artificial intelligence phone calls. I screenshotted it. I sent it to you. And you said, like, you guys are already doing it. Before I even have you talk.
Wait, hold on. You're wrong. Okay, we're good. Do we end the show here? All right, Dave, let's go ahead.
Because I don't understand how.
Yeah.
If someone's going to pay $180, $200, $300 per visit.
No, dude.
I don't think they're going to go through an artificial intelligence phone call. Full stop. Now, if you're doing transactional $30 copay physical therapy, respectfully.
I got a good example. And by the way, my client's going to become our case study, dude. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say who, but yeah. So let's talk this whole thing out. By the way, this is the best thing about that. I still think about that cancel. If you guys haven't seen the conversation where Dave and I talk about cancel fees, I think that conversation is what everybody needed to hear. We didn't come together and say, do it or don't. You and I both presented that big picture. And so people should be able to go and listen to that thing and go, okay, I get that. Okay. Where do I slide into this? Right? It's not black and white. That's the beauty of this. And neither is this conversation. What I think, because of my experience, no pun intended, in the patient experience on front desk cells, I would like to think I bring a little bit of a view into understanding where it fits in. I'm not going to say where it doesn't fit, but where I think it currently fits, if you understand. Because there was another post this week that blew up. So my whole week was about AI and tech. Someone saw a check-in kiosk, right? By the way, if you had asked me check-in kiosk 3 years ago, I'd have said absolutely no way. And now I'm like, absolutely. If, and we'll get into it in the if thing, but everybody goes, oh, we'll never replace. So here's my thesis, and we're going to start from here. And I went off yesterday on LinkedIn. If your default is you can't take the people out of healthcare, I'm going to say, because healthcare is literally the worst experience of any industry in America over and over and over again. So to say we have to leave the people in with no further discussion, I'm like, then you're for the status quo. You don't care about improving healthcare. So that's where I want to start this from. All I want everybody to do is take a step back and go, I wonder what this looks like now.
So what does that mean? Wonder what looks like?
So my world, right? My world is sales. My world is front desk sales. My world is people to people interactions. My people is training people to be salespeople, how to greet people, how to do all this stuff, how to communicate, how to listen, how to ask better questions. So for me not to have one eye on the AI world would be totally foolish on my part. About 10 months ago, I found a product, and I'm not going to name any names. I found a product, and it was AI agents. It was actually AI talking, and it was sales agent, and they were selling it. And I'm like, I got to check this out. I clicked on it. I listened to it. I was like, holy crap, this is horrible. So I kind of let my guard down. I'm not going to lie. I was like, all right, I don't need to worry about this. I went through a demo, and of course the demo was horrible. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I went through the demo. The demo was horrible. I had to go through a live person to do the demo, and the live person ghosted me. I was like, so again, my argument about the value of AI, I'm like, well, why don't they just have AI replace this dumbass who doesn't follow up with me, right? So I was like, we can't keep doing this. So I let my guard down. Literally, this whole thing has blown up over like the last 8 weeks. I'm talking to a new client. I'm going to help train his front desk. And he says to me at the end of our first call, he says, so Jerry, before he even agreed to do work with me, what are you doing in the AI space? I said, well, I know it's there. I know I need to pay attention. And I've talked to someone, I just signed up for my own Chat GPT account like 2 weeks before. I said, and I'm working on some stuff. He goes, go check this out. And he sends me a website. He goes, I'm thinking of incorporating this in my business. I said, okay. And he sent me a link and I clicked on it and I got to hear it. Dude, the quality of the conversation from when I started, from the first one I heard 10 months ago to yesterday, I went, oh, meaning I need to get on board. And the AI agent I compared it to growing up with telephones in like 1930 and then magically having a cell phone like 6 months later. I mean, that was the jump in this conversation. So that's where I am today. When I heard this, I'm like, okay, I don't have to create something, but I better get 1 foot in this world and see what's going on. And then magically you start posting things and you start sharing things, and I start connecting with a couple people. And I was going the direction a little bit of the AI phone recordings and then transcription breakdowns, because I can replicate my process in an evaluation type way. So if I trained your front desk team, the recording system I could set up to your front desk team would then transcribe and do a breakdown based on my process. So step 1 was, did they acknowledge? Did they get a problem be solved? Did they do expectations? So I was headed down that path already. Then I went and listened to this, and I went back to the guys who have this company that I'm working with, and some of my clients are. And I said, are you guys doing the voice stuff? And they said, yeah. I was like, can I get in on it? Meaning, can you duplicate my process? Because the thing is, and this is what everybody needs to listen about as someone who's going, is AI going to replace me? I was like, I got to figure out how to get on in front of this and build myself into this system so that I'm not building out my replacement per se. And meaning, if I put myself into this process and you have to pay me for it, then by the way, I just scaled myself. Right here we are in 2025, and I've spent my whole business life going, you can't scale a person. Now I'm going, maybe
we're getting closer. We're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet. But, and I don't say but, so I don't want to say that. We're not there yet, and nobody knows. This was my challenge yesterday. We don't know the future, so there's absolutely no reason for everybody not to be paying attention to it.
So you have different businesses, but one we were talking about recently, because there was a Brooklyn practice owner that you and I know, and he was considering to sign up for your service. Big ticket, high ticket, whatever you want to call it, a big decision to have you do coaching and training, all that for their therapy practice. I'll believe that this AI, whatever you want to call it, AI, phone call, AI.
Call it an agent. So the AI agent is when you call and get a voice, right?
Yeah. Okay. So when Jerry Durham posts online that the conversion rate for that service, the front desk service that you're offering, converts physical therapy practice owners on the phone better than Jerry Durham and your human agents or actual humans can convert private physical therapy, private practice owners, then I'll believe that an AI agent is actually viable to sell something that's cash pay, physical therapy, self-pay packages, all that.
So you and I are 100% in the same boat on this, which means I have to be willing to put it out there. So that's why I'm working with another group.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah. So I agree with you 100%, Dave. So I've got someone else, not the group you're talking about, that I'm working with currently, and and it's not my decision to make for him. He is going full bore, dude. So guess what? We're going to have that answer in probably about 7 or 8 months. At least we're going to have a case study of one, dude.
So when you do those calls with physical therapy practice owners, your team, whatever, don't you also do Zoom or video calls, or is it just phone calls?
Nope. All the above.
You do 50% or 70% Zoom calls to build rapport with these practice
75, 80%.
Is on Zoom calls?
Mm-hmm.
So how is that ever going to get replaced with an AI agent?
Oh, sorry. No. I'm talking about my client bringing it into the business. I'm talking about my training. So when I talk about scaling me, scaling my training. So I would still, here's the thing, as I see it today, April 2025, dude, and I can't wait till we go back and listen to this in like 5 years. I'm serious too. So what I see is I come in, let me back this up a little bit. I think we need a little more context. Right. When you get an EMR, we're all working off the same platform, right? And we get to put our own data into that platform, but nothing really changes. It's not reactive. We're just filling up space, right? This is the only example I can think of right now. You have ABC EMR. I have ABC EMR. We both log into a separate platform with the same templates, and then we build up all that knowledge in there. This AI group I'm working with to create an agent, we bring the AI agent to you and we build out your whole process, your whole conversation, your whole workflow for your business right there. And by the way, that thing then teaches itself and feeds itself in a good way. So it's constantly learning. So I can come into your world, work with you on yours, and then I can go over here to this person's world and work on theirs. Here's the thing I want. If Dave says, I want to work with you, Jerry, or you go to some of these other AI people and say, I want Jerry to work with me, then we're going to build my process, my 5-step, so this is what I did for my client. I have the SOPs all for the first phone call. I have the script. I have everything. We're going to embed it in the AI agent, dude. So it's going to start from the beginning, building on my process. So I get to go in and go, great, Dave. I'm going to do the quality assurance. I'm going to listen to your calls. I'm going to check it daily. By the way, the system's going to give me feedback too, right? So I don't have to go in and listen to a 20-minute call. I can look at the notes. Was the process followed? And by the way, if it wasn't, I make one correction and then the process is followed from here forward. So I would go to you, Dave, with me in the AI going, I'm going to train your team. So we have two options here. I'm going to train your team, and this system's going to constantly be evaluating them. And by the way, giving them feedback and sending them emails saying, you left these 2 steps out, and maybe referring them to one of my training videos that they need to watch so they can improve their ability to get expectations before they move on to scheduling, right?
So, to get you on here, though, I thought you were saying that you're going to help practices have an AI agent answer clinic phone calls.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I know you're going to use that technology to train.
So that's one for me to scale me. But the other example,
your deliverables.
So here's the same thing, right? The EMR example. You sign up with one of the 2 platforms I'm working with. I want to go in on the first phone call and go, by the way, Dave, I already have all the templates, all the structure in the AI world to set up your AI agent in the way that I would sell and do the work. So our work together for the first month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is to take all your processes and embed them in my set. This is what I do currently manually. We just do it and we type out SOPs and we do all this work. Now the AI agent is going to speed that up and have it ready to go. Check this out. So the clinic you were talking about closer to you, the AI agent is going to answer the phone during the off hours.
Okay.
It's going to be the same. Well, it's probably not going to schedule people, but it's going to gather data. It ain't going to be leaving a voicemail, dude. It's going to be talking to someone who identifies himself as an AI agent and collects data and says, you're going to get a phone call tomorrow. So let's do this after hours. But guess what else it's going to do? And this is where, right? Oh, AI is not going to replace people. And I'm like, keep lying to yourself.
So that was one thing is the AI agent, if it's going to answer phone calls during the evening, overnight, weekends, whatever, it is going to let the caller, the prospective patient, it's going to identify themselves as an AI agent.
Yeah.
So that's first.
Did you know what the research says on this? Everybody needs to hear this. The research says if an AI agent identifies himself as AI, people are more willing to stay on a call and have a conversation
because they don't want to be like suckers and think they're getting fooled. And the caller's like, I know this is not a human right now. There's no way that technology is good enough right now to get like the nuances of. Yeah.
And you get stuck in a phone call and you're like 2 minutes in going, wait, am I talking to right? You don't want to be fooled. Right. By the way, we will be fooled in the future. Or sorry. we will be talking to an agent and we will be fooled sometimes, and we don't want it. We want to know. So this is simple enough to me. Hi, my name's Jerry. I'm an AI agent. I'm here to help you because the office is closed. And dude, again, we can set it up. And by the way, we can nuance the conversation, dude, probably more than you think. It was more than I thought.
Well, I mean, all that in the background is probably easier, right? Because it's like a decision tree. You load it with information. Yeah. But how much?
Once you have the process in, right?
How much of the agent? Yeah, once you have the process in, but how much of the agent can like joke about the Phillies or the SF Giants?
No, that ain't going to happen right now.
With tonality or whatever, right?
So that's not going to happen right now.
The point of it right now is just to be transactional then, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I agree with you. Yeah. Yet I got a client who's completely out of the network who's putting it all on the line right now. We're going to put my process in and train the agent to have the same conversation that I'm training other front desk people to do for out of network clinics. Now,
what would be the point of doing that if you're out of network? Like you typically, not always, but typically have less call volume than in network, on average, right? So why would a practice owner that's out of network?
He continues to hire people. It's the same thing you hear. So again, this is why I'm telling everybody, you got to right? Every practice I go to, right, the people contact me, Jerry, I'm having a horrible time with turnover. I'm having a horrible time keeping people on staff. And then they bring me on to train their people. And I'm like, this isn't the person to do this, right? So, think about the average clinic, right? Like that, Dave. So they're going, I'm paying all this money for people. And then, by the way, the big impetus for this is he's got two people answering the phone. Their phone software says they're missing like 35% of the calls every day. AI can do, here's the other thing. During the working hours, let's go to another clinic. Let's go back to another clinic, not this guy. AI, I would recommend, gets all your overflow. So I'm going to be promising, anybody listening to this, you will have probably seen it already. I'm going to be promising 100% answer rate in your clinic. Check this out, Dave. 24/7, 365. Your phone will never not be answered. I challenge you guys. I say the 100 calls come through at the same time and go, yeah, they all get picked up, right? It's not this. So let's stick on this in network, this after hours, all of it. So after hours, it picks up. Theoretically, and by the way, you can set it up to go, yep, we take all insurances, right? We can do this. Yes. And that whole conversation, Dave, of course, we can do that and still build my process in. So, right, I would still come into these people and go, I'll drive your arrival rate up, right? Because we're going to park my process into this. We're going to make sure and this is what I currently do, Dave, right? You and I both know if you hired me to build out your front end sales process, 80% of it's going to be the same as everybody else until we get to how we want to manage costs and how we want to do this, right? So I would still go to the in-network clinics and go, I'll get people on the schedule who will arrive, pay, and stay who are calling after hours. I'll get people on your schedule who arrive, pay, and stay and are calling on Sundays. And yes, we can train it to go, by the way, I'm going to train it to ask, not tell, right? So Dave, what insurance were you looking to use? Blue Cross Blue Shield. Oh, which plan maybe even, because they might deal with multiple plans. The better the information in, the better the input out. Oh, I have the Brooklyn series. Oh yeah. Yeah, we are definitely in network with that. And I'll tell you what, Dave, as I would, by the way, this is the way I train people. I'm going to get you on the schedule, and then my team is going to call you back tomorrow because they know it's off hours between noon and 1 with all of your insurance benefits. So again, all that uncertainty is lowered, right? And so again, we're talking the transactional side, but I see huge value in this right now. So again, where's it fit now? 100% of your phone calls answered and managed in the way you want them managed. Maybe, Dave, you say, look, I want phone calls answered, but I want them to know it's an AI agent. I want them to know, right? Because the things I go to my client, they just want it to pick up. I'm like, no, this ain't voicemail. Let's ask good questions. Let's collect some data and let's promise them a callback at a specific time. Right. And this is what we were working with the last group was, okay, if the call comes, if it's overflown, comes in before 5, your promise. Oh, and hey, Dave, you're going to get a call back from our client care coordinators because it is before 5 o'clock. You will receive a call today before 5. The system tasks the live front desk people. Missed call. Here's the notes. Right. Call back. So again, it goes straight to the people sitting at the desk. So they're managing their day. And then all of a sudden the task pops up. We got a call back, right? And all the information it collected gets moved forward. It's not a voicemail. It's not a sticky note, right? You can have it, pull it where you want it, put it where you want it, schedule it where you want it. What I really like about it is the task system, because to me, the task system is the linchpin of all this. So what if this AI agent collects all this? What do we do with it when the people hang up? That's what's important to me, right?
Interesting. So
now the high ticket side, I tell you, dude, we're going to have an answer before you know it. And I'm going to be knee deep in it, because guess who's going to be doing all the quality insurance, and guess who's going to be checking every single call? Me. I want to know, right? Man, I want to know.
I'll be curious to hear in the future if there's companies that are selling.
I know, dude.
A $2,000 or $3,000 physical therapy package over the phone. And most practices are like,
I got you,
evaluation, and then they sell in person. Or your, medium to high ticket services where the AI agent is declaring themselves on the phone. Hey, this is, Tom, the AI agent. And then you're going to sell a physical therapy practice owner your type of service for thousands of dollars.
Well, here's the million
AI agent. I don't think we're even close to that. But
I'll put it this way. We're closer than we were 9 months ago, right? So I was on a call training people. Right now, I just train people. Well, actually, I lied. This week, I started training AI, dude. Right? Because I started putting my stuff into an AI agent. And then I'm going to be the one checking for the call and making the changes. It's baffling, dude. But here's a call I had earlier today. I'm glad you just said that, because you just made me think of this. We spent 15 minutes of the call talking about hearing tone, right? Everybody talks about tone, matching tonality and stuff, of which a lot of what I learned came from listening to phone calls and listening to the tonality of the potential customer, not the actual front desk person. And that's how I learned certain steps in this journey, going, oh my God, they were sold. Oh my God, you oversold them. You confused them. Oh, you know what, Dave, I got to think about it. And then you report back to me, oh, they got to think about it. I'm like, I listen to the call and go, because you talk past the sell. They would have bought here, but you kept talking, right? How is AI going to pick that up, dude? Right? That to me is the magic, right? It's the art and the science. Here we go, right? I have a whole series, the art and the science of selling in healthcare. It's the most time and energy I've invested in any content I put out there. And this is it. This is the art. We all know it can do the science. It can deliver a process, a 5-step process. By the way, I train people in my 5-step process, tell them it's a conversation. They turn it into the best damn checklist you've ever heard. And I go through a role play and I'm like, congratulations, you just turned my conversation I gave you into a checklist. I'm like, nice first step, but now we're going to learn how to have a conversation, right? So how quickly is AI going to be able to take that to a conversation, like you're saying? And that even if I tell you I'm AI, you're willing to share all that and be challenged, right? I just read a post that I really enjoyed. And my call this morning, I keep telling people at the front desk, you got to be willing to take ownership of these questions. Hey, Dave, you said A, B, C, and D, correct? Yeah. I'm curious why now you're choosing, you said you got to think about it. I obviously missed something here, but I said you say how important it is to you now. You've been out, right? All this, right? Because I was teaching them how to take ownership and go, Dave, I just want to be clear before we hang up that those are all yeses. Yeah. So why aren't you scheduling today, right? Are people going to be willing to have that conversation like that and be challenged by an AI agent on the other end of the phone? I don't know, dude, right?
Well, one thing on the AI agent credit would be you could load it with how to overcome all the common objections and exactly what to say. And an AI agent probably today would be better.
Well, there you go, Dave. Well, so now you're pitching it better than I am.
I'm pitching because I think an AI agent is not going to care about fear of rejection.
Well, there you go. There you go. You lose
right. Losing track of the script. Like, where are they with rebuttals and overcoming objections and all that?
You are correct. So there's probably good and bad to that, right? And I would be the first to say that there's good and bad to that, right? You can take by the way, you know what's funny? You can build emotion into it, but you can take the reaction, right? As we all say, right? You can't control what happens. All you can control is the reaction. Well, we can control the reaction, and it will be controlled 100% of the time. So you can probably give the perception of emotion and caring, And how are people going to respond to that, right? And by the way, Dave, here's the other kicker where I started. I'm 58 years old, right? I've been calling doctors and dentists and eye doctors and everybody my whole life. And you and I both know, and I've walked into offices, and you and I both know it's been shitty more than it's been good.
Yep.
So what happens all of a sudden? You call a healthcare practice, a physical therapy office, and you get an AI agent, and they tell you they're an AI agent, but they're asking you questions, and then they pause and listen for the answer. I'm like, help me out here, people. How is that a bad thing? And by the way, there's that study out there. When people were told that the AI agent, right, they had the option of talking to the doctor or the AI agent, right? The people who talked to the AI agent reported better satisfaction, better listening, better communication with the AI agent. And dude, when I saw that the first time, I had to sit down and sit in that, and my initial reaction was, we suck, right? That's on us. That's not on the AI. That's what you're saying. Healthcare needs it more than anybody. And right. And everybody can sit around and go, oh my God, the tech's taken over. I'm like, taken over what? Taken over. You never did. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, I also led off the conversation yesterday by saying, if we can automate the front end a little bit and answer the call, right person, right place, right time, right? And I can move people into my office more efficiently, the right people. And this efficiency gives someone 15 more minutes with a provider, 20 more minutes with a provider. The human, is this a good process, right? So there's all these things that I threw out yesterday that I was just like, you can't tell me getting people to the right place sooner is bad for healthcare.
The humans, at least for now, and maybe in the coming years, the humans are still, here's one thing I didn't think about with getting you on and catching up with you is, let's say the AI agent now and in the coming years is excellent in terms of covering all the bases, adding maybe some sprinkling some emotion in there, asking them what's important to them, all that type of stuff.
All mine will say 49ers when you ask them, dude. That's how, if anybody in the future talks to AI and they say, well, are you a 49er fan? Jerry trained it. Go on.
Let's say you're using this AI agent for your physical therapy practice and it's doing all the things you're talking about and maybe more in the future. And it's working out. It's working out with the evenings, the weekends, maybe some of the overflow. That makes sense as well. But then eventually, right, the front desk person is either going to speak with that patient or maybe not. The patient eventually arrives, like you're thinking.
Yeah, right. Right. Now, what do you want? Mm-hmm.
And the front desk person still needs to deliver the patient experience. And what if the AI agent, there's such a disconnect, like the AI agent covers everything and is very like, do you have any other questions? And does that make sense? And how does that sound fair? And, making sure we're covering everything. And then the patient comes into the office and the front desk person doesn't look up and they're like, hello, or good morning, hi, or, dude, sit down and I'll get you a clipboard or whatever, or the self check-in kiosk or whatever. And what if there's a drop off between the AI agent? If it's so great, the patient comes into the office. Now it's like old school physical human interaction.
So check it out.
And there's a drop off between that.
I think this is the best question to be asking right now. I said this at the beginning, and I said this at the beginning of all my talks. AI is going to be a bigger solution for people who don't understand their client's journey and have them mapped out in their business currently. What you just described is someone who says, I'm going to put an AI agent in here without any awareness about the patient's journey. I'm so glad you brought that up. Now, bear with me. I want to double back to the beginning. This is where the questions and the value of it starts to fit. Right. And if you understand that journey, and if you understand what Dave just said, and you don't want that to be the experience, then you're going to sit down. This is what I'm doing right now with my one client. Dude, we're delivering every step of the process, including arrival. So guess who's in on all this building? The front desk team, the real people. So statement number one is you got to understand your patient's journey and the connectedness. Step two is you must have your team involved in the process. By the way, the providers, I am traveling, right? I do front desk training. I'm traveling to Arkansas next month. because I've been training the front desk. They now want me to train the providers. I said, cool.
So eventually you shouldn't have to travel anymore.
Yeah, you are correct. You're correct. So now we're bringing the whole, but I love it, right? So now it's like, right, see, but that's where, so how do I build it? And I still travel. We're bringing the whole team together. And what I'm going to do with everybody, the first like 2 hours is going to show them all the work the front desk is doing, whether it's AI or not, to get someone in their butt in the seat. I want them to know every step that went into that butt in that seat for their 9 o'clock low back pain patient. So when Dr. Dave Kittle walks out and he sees Jerry Durham sitting there, his 11 o'clock, he knows all the work that went in. He understands why he has to look in the EMR for Jerry's goals, because he knows the team did everything they needed to do to create success for him. That's back to your exact example. Why would you put, and by the way, I wouldn't do this, right? So the first thing my client and I did, we mapped out his whole patient journey, dude, right? So that's the value where I come in still. I get to help you understand your journey. So by the way, so here's my pitch right now, right? I'm decreasing their onboarding by like 4 weeks, dude. Because by the way, I went through the onboarding questionnaire. I was like, holy crap. If you just walked into this and said, I want an AI agent, you'd just be analysis paralysis. I don't have this. Well, what's this mean? I don't have a process for this. I don't have this. I, fortunately, with my client, either he had it or I had it, and some of it we had mashed up. And we were on the phone this morning. I'm like, dude, and this is what was fun. We went through the onboarding material separately. I said, I was reading through it and I found more of my stuff. I said, I put it all in a folder. So I said, there's 2 templates. And then I rewrote one of the templates to match your first phone call. So now he just gets to go ping, right? So this idea of where does my value come in, right? And by the way, he keeps bringing up over and over, right? I'm going to need you for the quality assurance. I'm going to need you to keep following up. So I don't even need to pitch him on what happens next. He's already bought. He's already sold, right? And yeah, we're bringing up, and he knows too. And I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, I went through that whole process last night. There's value to me. So he knows we're both learning from this. It's a great relationship right now. And by the way, I couldn't ask for a better first dive into this with him. So back to your thing, right? There's no way on God's green earth, dude, if I'm working with someone, that will ever happen. Because if they go, I'm going all AI, I'd go, time out. Are your providers AI? No. Then we have to connect the dots, dude.
Right.
And by the way, he's going harder than I would have. This is what's funny. When you brought it up, I'm like, okay. I'm like, you sure you want to go that? Yeah. But here's the deal. That task system, I keep bringing up, but what happens when you say, because when you identify yourself as the AI agent, you got to be ready for people to opt out, right? So this is the experience again. So boom, task the front desk person who the live in front desk person will pick up the call, right? And there's still manual stuff to do in this system, dude, right? Yet I'm going to argue that this platform, I'm not even going to say anybody's names, because if someone wants it, I'll be more than happy to talk. But this platform is about, it really is. It's doing benefit checks. It's moving people. It's scraping the schedule to see when there's availability. So it's doing that work that is going to move people through this system more efficiently and more properly so that they're prepared to arrive, pay, and stay, dude.
We're talking about all this technology. I wrote out some questions on a used envelope for Jerry for this call, which is,
hey, by the way, did I play
hilarious?
Dude, hold up. I'm just going to cover my address. What do you think this is, dude? I mean, look. Yeah. So I've got to sit.
I got a couple things for you. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I was listening to, Alex Hormozy, I'm sure, right? I was listening to him talk about, I think it was a dental office. Mm-hmm. And this day and age with whether it doesn't matter with EMR or Active Campaign, automated emails or Infusionsoft or the million other platforms for marketing. So automated text and emails, whether it's coming from your EMR text or email, or if it's promotional or whatever, people get all this spam stuff, but then they also get the automated text messages or emails about the appointment reminders. And Hormozy was talking about there was a dentist and they were doing like, it was like 4 million top line, but like bottom line was like crazy small, like no profit. And then he's like, oh, tell me about your process, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I mean, they should probably hire you if you heard this video. It was like a 30% cancellation no-show rate or whatever. It's some dentist. And I was like, holy Toledo, right? So he goes, tell me about your process. And he goes through the process. And then he goes, yeah, you guys use like automated. So tell me, you send automated text, automated emails for their appointment reminders. Yeah. Okay. When, like, 48 hours before and then 24 hours, and he's like, well, you're reminding me, it was weird. It was like they were sending a text like a week before the annual cleaning, like every 6 or 12 months, your annual, teeth cleaning. He's like, well, I don't know why are you guys sending it like a week ahead of time or whatever. So he's like asking the dentist, like the whole process when they're sending out the appointment reminders. And he's like, well, I would have it due. I think he said something like 24 hours in advance, then 48 hours, then 24 hours in advance. And then like the morning of, and then like 30 minutes before the appointment. And they're like, oh, isn't that like a lot? And he's like, well, don't you want people to show up? Like
they're always like that. Oh, that's a lot. I'm like, why is your arrival rate 30%?
Yeah. So here's the second part of it. The second part of it is Hormozy says you guys should also have a shared iPhone at your office to manually text people. So they get, if they have an iPhone, they get the blue text message, which now there's software, there's Send in Blue. There's other software that I can send appointment reminders and they show up blue instead of the green bubbles like Android or whatever. They show up as blue bubbles, like a blue text message. So you think it's like a friend or a family member or a colleague or someone else that has an iPhone. So it seems more real.
Yeah, and dude, right. It just seems, by the way, every time you get a text from 5 digits, dude, even if you ask for it, you're like, who is this from? Right. It's the same thing.
Yeah. So are there any owners that you know of or in your process that you've helped owners with where they do the automated text and emails through either EMR or your platform or whatever, but are also manually texting patients about arrivals?
Not the second part, dude. No, not the second part. Yeah. You know what's interesting? 2 things. One thing. Forget the first one. We'll go down a rabbit hole. Let's just talk about the second thing. This is patient engagement. This is the RTM platforms. This is how RTM platforms should be used, dude.
But RTM is also, most of the time it's manual.
No. I'm saying it should be, so it gives everybody access to an actual personal message. And by the way, Dave, I am going to go back to the first point. Dude, you know what I still have to do with my clients? So what are you guys doing for appointment reminders? 75% of the time, this answer. We text, we email, and we call. I'm like, okay, right? Because can there be enough? I'm like, okay. Do you ask them their preference? No, 95% of the time, nobody asks preference. So part of me is go the step before, right? So my world is go the step before. So cool. You're sending those all out. I don't go, you shouldn't, right? Or it's too many. I go, are you asking people which one they prefer? And everybody's always like, no, we just send them out. And I'm like, because by the way, if you call me, I ain't picking up. If I say text me and then I see, and then I'm going to ask you, well, what's it come from? Am I going to know it, right? Now I'm looking for it. Now I'm going to put it in my phone. But if you say, dude, I got it. So I do secret callers, right? Oh, this is fun. I do secret callers. Most of the time I give my people my phone number because I block the number so they can't see my caller ID. So I just give them my phone number. The other day, without asking me, I literally hang up from a secret caller. 2 minutes later, I get a text. Oh, hey, Jerry, here's the breakdown. I'm like, I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't give him permission for any of this. So again, I think we're still in a world, dude, where we get lost between the automation and the tech and going, Dave, right? By the way, some people, dude, I still get people, I want a phone call. And I'm like, cool, here's the phone number it's coming from, right? That's the best world because now make sure you don't block it, do whatever you need to do. So step 1 is ask. And then let's fast forward to what I said. The RTM platform is an app. It's something else. So guess why make it successful, dude? Because they start selling it on the first phone call. So by the time you walk in the room with the provider, you know you have direct communication with your provider. And your provider is going to actually, with the clients I work with on RTM platforms, dude, that first plan of care, the first exercise program, is you, the provider, doing it on the app, because you didn't have to put them on the app. All you got to do is go, hey, by the way, that app you're on, by the way, that's your direct line of communication to me, right? And so then, by the way, I'm going to send you, maybe, I'm just throwing this out. I'm not telling everybody to do this. Just relax, everybody. Maybe the provider sends appointment reminders. You know what I mean? Something like that, Dave. And by the way, watch, they've already proven people on RTM platforms have increased arrival rates. It's proven 20, 30% higher. So there's that trust. And you know what's interesting about this, Dave, and you hear me doing over and over, it's never one step, dude. It's multiple steps, building trust, delivering, right? That then by the time you get the text, you're like, yeah, I got to call these guys. By the way, I have a dentist. When they call me, the dentist name comes up. When they text me, the dentist name comes up. To me, that's 51%. And I love my dentist. It's 51% the solution, right? Mm. So yes, I agree with all that. Yet I think sometimes we overkill in that spot when it's like, if this, Dan Kennedy was the first one who ever said this, and a lot of old school marketing people know Dan, and I still get emails from him. Dan Kennedy said the single research proven, the single best way to increase your email rate, open rate, is to tell people you're sending them an email. It's science proven. If you tell people, hey, Dave, I'm going to be sending you an email every Tuesday, your open rate goes up. So again, hey, Dave, what's the best way to communicate? You signed up for an email and I say it's going to happen. So I already covered you want an email, right? Yeah, it's this whole thing where, yes, I agree with all that, but we're back to the beginning of this call, and maybe a good place to wrap up. AI works great if you understand your patient's journey. And by the way, if a human answers and they're going to get appointment reminders from AI, hey, Jerry, we got 3 options. Oh, I want a phone call. By the way, Dave, you're going to get a call from our AI agent. They're going to tell you the date and the time, and say, hey, let me know. And by the way, I don't like to give permission to cancel, but you may say, and by the way, let them know if you can arrive or not, right? You know what I mean? And by the way, you could set up the AI agent not to allow you to cancel if it's under 24 hours. See, dude, there's a process here to be made. And that's what I do. And if I understand, I don't want to give people the okay to cancel. If you get the AI agent in 24 hours, he or she is not going to ask you if you want to reschedule. But guess what? 48 hours before, hey, Dave, this is Jerry, the AI agent at ABC Physio. I want to remind you about your appointment. By the way, you know what else the AI agent's going to do? Your appointment, not with us. No, your appointment is not with us. It's with Dr. Jane Doe, your expert. And don't forget, I know you're working on your plan of care with her, and she's looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. By the way, if you do need to reschedule, now's the time to let me know. I mean, dude, if you ask for that phone call.
This is a good place to wrap up. This is what I wanted to get to, which is there's all.
Oh, wait, we're just getting there, Dave.
Yeah, there's all this talk about artificial intelligence and AI and technology. And if you add it to any type of practice or business or anything, it's not going to be a cure-all. It's not going to be a panacea. It's not going to fix everything magically. You're not going to magically make a ton more profit or grow all of a sudden just because you're using Jerry Durham's AI phone calls.
No, dude. And by the way, I won't take those people on. I already said that. If you don't want to invest your time, money, and energy on having your team involved in this and making sure you understand the patient's journey, I'm not going to work with you, Dave. That's the beauty of all this. Because what I tell those people, and we kind of have a laugh, I say, just send me the check and we're not going to schedule anything because you're going to get the same results. And they laugh and I go, and I'm serious, right? When people sign me up or say, I want to sign you up to train my team, I say, great. Who is going to be right? Who's going to be direct? Who are your front desk team directly accountable to? Could be them, could be anybody. I go, cool. Do you plan? And it's a question, not a tell. Do you plan on coming on any of the training calls? No, I wasn't. I say, let me tell you what my most successful clients do. And I give them, it's a 2-step structure. My most successful clients do these 2 things. Are you willing to commit? By the way, dude, one of them is just following up. What'd you learn from the call? What are we going to implement after every call? I go, are you willing to do those 2 things? Absolutely. I go, cool. We can work together then. But if you're not, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to help you. It's going to be a coin flip. We're going to be flipping coins. You might as well go put the cash on black or red, and I won't work with them. So And I've gone on rants. Go back over my last 5 LinkedIn. At least 3 of them are going, tech does not fix your problem. It's people, process, tech. Tech has to be the third option. Dude, I see people at PPS last year. There was a guy, great solution. Had an AI tool for pulling people off your wait list. We're not going there. I'm already starting to get triggered. Pulling people off your wait list and filling in cancels. I guarantee you he got more business than I did at PPS because I'm going, hey, I can help you prevent the cancels. I can get rid of your wait list. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's my business. And I'm like, that's your business? Dude, I've had calls with people like this recently. Oh, I don't want to get rid of my wait list. I'm like, my brain just went, cool, we're not working together. My God, dude. So, right, it's people, process, tech.
Perfect.
Always. And the success of AI is going to be that way. And guess what? Here's the beauty of it. I'm going to leave with this. We're on the front end. Put yourself in it, right? See what you can do, right? Sorry about that. But I still wanted people to hear, kind of went that direction about how it makes my business scalable, not just, right, how it's going to help my clients, but it's going to make me scalable, right? Oh, you can't scale a person. I'm like, wow, here I am in May of 2025 going, maybe I am scalable through AI, right?
Two other random things. I want to get your brief take on it. Just yesterday, I got my first...
Niners, Giants, Warriors.
No. Philadelphia Eagles, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. Phillies, I don't know. Real quick, yesterday, I got my first prospective patient where we go, how did you hear about us? And the guy was calling for his daughter. The guy was, I don't know, the guy's 50 or 60 or something years old. He's calling for his daughter. He found my practice concierge pain relief on ChatGPT. He
was searching chat.
ChatGPT, in-home physical therapist that covers Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, that specializes in CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. Is that the first time you've heard a physical therapist getting a lead through ChatGPT?
That's the first. Yeah, absolutely. That's the first time.
So
what did I do when I signed up for ChatGPT? What was like the third thing I did? Tell me about Jerry Durham.
And
meaning my business, right? Because that's what I wanted.
Did it give you some information?
Oh, dude. Yeah, it was all front desk related, dude. Because that was my brand. So I'm sorry, I should have clarified. Is tell me about ... my business, right? Jerry Durham PT. I said, tell me about Jerry Durham PT. I'm Jerry Durham PT on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right? So I knew it was going to pull from all that, dude. And it did. And guess what came up first? Twitter, for better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
But it was all there.
Another random topic. Savannah Bananas, banana ball. Is it baseball?
No. And we're done, dude. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's like the circus coming to town.
It's WWF, Harlem Globetrotters, right?
Yeah, someone said it was the Globetrotters. And I'm like, you're right. Yeah, and I think that context better because, dude, I've seen the Globetrotters a handful of times, and I love them. And so I didn't know because every time I saw the bananas, it was like, but Globetrotters never claimed to be part. When bananas were coming out, I thought they were part of like some AAA, or sorry, not AAA.
They were.
Yeah. So that's where I started going. Yeah.
The owner, Jesse Cole, who's the guy in the yellow suit, who's like the Vince McMahon of banana ball, he noticed. He bought a minor league team, him and his wife, they bought a minor league team, and they, year after year, for 5 years or whatever, they noticed more and more people would leave before the game was over.
Ah, gotcha. So his goal was just to get people to, right? Yeah.
He's like, baseball takes too long for 9 innings. That's why they made it a 2-hour time limit, which, I mean.
They did. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. There's some cool rules. Like,
I got it.
If you and I are in the stands and a player hits a foul ball, right? I have
that's right. I heard that.
I have a glove right here, baby. If I catch the ball in the stands, that guy is out. Now,
yeah, I love that, dude.
It's interesting. It's different, but no one's ever going to go, you and I, we're never going to go ballistic about them winning or losing or whatever, because we know it's a show. We know it's WWF or just like any other soap opera, TV show.
Correct.
And
I think what happened is I got jaded because I saw him like coming out and I'm like, this isn't baseball. I saw it being where Harlem Globetrotters was always separate, right? They weren't in the NBA. They weren't an ABA team. They weren't anything. They were traveling, playing basketball. And so, I saw Savannah when they were still in whatever league, South Coast, lower division league they were in. I was like, this isn't baseball. What are we selling here? And then I've had a hard time catching on with it because I'm like, I like baseball, right? Is what it is.
It's not baseball. I needed you to weigh in on that. Thank you very much. But reach out to Jerry Durham on LinkedIn, Facebook. Sometimes
go look at my LinkedIn lives. I've had, I did a conversation about people, process, tech. This AI fits in that, right? You got to know your people and your processes before you can bring tech. I love the way you finish with that, Dave. And that's the finish here. AI is tech. It's here to stay, right? Just like EMRs were when they showed up, right? But AI is here. It's here to stay. And my recommendation is get in. You don't have to pay for it, but you should be on it. You should be searching on it. You should be seen because people are typing in, can physical therapy help me? Give me exercises for low back pain at the very least, right? So, and then how can it facilitate you as a business owner, clinic manager, provider to be more efficient in your day? That's what I'm looking for. And that's what this one group is bringing me. One group's bringing me feedback on the calls. Another group is taking over all the inefficient steps of the pre-arrival process so that my clients can do what? Have more patients who arrive, pay, and then stay.
Awesome, Jerry. Thank you so much. Go Phillies.
No.
Giants somehow have a similar way.
SF Giants. Yeah, there you go. Because that huge April.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, it's Dave Kittle. Are you a healthcare business owner or physical therapy practice owner who is looking to figure out your succession plan or exit strategy? We might be able to help. And in fact, we may be interested in acquiring your practice. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. Shoot me an email at dave@conciergepainrelief.com. That's DAVE at CONCIERGE, painrelief.com. Or you can call me at any time, 646-781-8884.